Hey, see if they got any pie. Bring me some pie.
Sit down. The place slightly resembles an insane asylum.
Well, all you need to start an asylum is an empty room and the right kind of people.
It's the kitchen sink.
Prepare to be astonished.
Kitchen sink. Kitchen sink.
Everything.
The kitchen sink. Hello.
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 Hello. Are we here?
Hello from the kitchen sink.
What's up, y'all? What's up, yo?
I'm the doctor.
I'm the gearness.
And I'm the badness.
Yes.
I think we're doing that.
Okay.
We
Hi,
are
everybody.
marching
It's Saturday again.
alongside the marchers.
Yes, we are.
What? Nobody else could do that with me?
I can't. No, because I fell yesterday.
I
No,
got
you
my
know what?
laptop,
With all
man.
everybody else has laptops, so nobody else has to do the march. And I'm not mocking it, by the way. We are feeling the love and the unity today with those folks.
Is Tim there?
Yeah, I was muted or trying to be muted. Hey, Beth.
Sorry, I
Hey,
was
Tim.
too. What's going on, man?
Hey,
Hey.
I just got back from that protest. I'm still trying to get everything situated and get headphones and chargers plugged in real quick.
Take your time, man. It's nice to have you with us. It's been a minute since we talked to you, too.
Yeah. Are we live now or no?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, hello world.
Hello, world. Sorry, buddy.
We know we surprise people. We haven't got out all of the glitches, but we're working on it.
Tim, that's Doc. Doc Tim.
Hello, Tim.
Hi, Doc. I think I met you on the chat a couple shows ago.
Oh, cool. Well, glad to have you with us. You were actually at the rally today or the march?
Yeah, I just got back. I'm gonna start putting out pictures and videos pretty soon.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
So how did it go? I mean, where do we start with something like that? When did you get out there today?
It started at 9. I was out there. I got there later than I wanted. I was out there a few minutes before 9. It's still going on, but it's breaking up. There's like 10,000, maybe 15,000 people were out there.
Wow.
Like 14 of them were fascist Trump supporters.
Of course.
14?
I counted. I think there was. Oh, sorry.
It's okay. We have
Doggos.
doggos, too.
Now look, we're just glad you're not still at the rally and we're hearing at the march and we're hearing those dogs, you know? Because that would be
I
much
guess
more
it depends
dramatic.
whose dogs you're hearing. Oh my God! Let me mute for 1 second, you guys. Sorry.
Thanks. So yeah, the March for Our Lives is going on still all over the country. Ours, we've got one later on tonight we're going to be going to, so we'll be posting pictures from that and whatnot. It's going to be late tonight for some reason. I don't know why. Probably because we're lazier.
I don't know. It's weird though. It's like at 6. It's kind of weird.
We watched a lot of the footage from the DC March, that was a lot of people, y'all. Holy man, I haven't seen that many people in DC in a long, long time. And I grew up there, so you know what I'm saying? It's kind of crazy.
I haven't seen a march with this many people since May Day. That's usually when we have our biggest marches in LA. This was huge.
Damn.
Yeah, I was watching some of the footage there too.
Yeah, they had full militarized police out there. I couldn't get my live stream going, so I was tripping with my phone. Probably the police and all the other phones going on.
I saw that fucking truck thing.
Oh, what is that called? That's called the
Stingray.
The Stingray. That disrupts the service, right?
Yeah, they had like all the sheriffs were looking like they were in Iraq. They were pissed with me saying, "Are we in Iraq?"
Oh my God. Fucking
Filming
Tim.
them.
You just talk shit to cops though, dude. That's funny.
Oh, you're a witness. You've been there before.
Oh, yeah. I saw it firsthand, man.
Yeah, we had an interesting night with Tim trying to do a show in a park in LA. Oh, that was fun.
Yeah, we were bombarded by cops, and there was a baseball bat beating. There was a fight when we first got there. It was insane.
It really was. I was just like, "Where's this free mariachi music you speak of?"
Yeah,
All I see
I
is
know. I
people
took you
with
to
baseball
the
bats.
nice park. I was like, I'm not gonna take him to the hood. I'm gonna take him to the nice area where we could chill. It just didn't work out.
That's because it's us, dude.
Was
Should
this
have went to
after
the
dark?
hood. You
Yeah.
should have known everybody.
Any park after dark reserves the right to get a little crazy, right? Because it's after dark.
so.
Things can happen,
I think you're right, Doc.
right? Or maybe those are my flashbacks to the parks I used to hang out with. I don't know. But so was it reasonably peaceful? Did the police respect the march? And by that I mean leave their guns at home. I'm sure they did. So they came.
No,
they bring
like I said,
theirs.
there was full militarized sheriffs out there.
God damn it.
Like they were in the back of a truck in a cage, like a breakout truck where they jump out on people. They were just chilling on the edges.
Oh.
And there was all the main cops were protecting the 14 little Nazi scum. Nazis now come in all colors and races. I found out the last few marches.
What the fuck? How does that work?
Well, remember the march the day before you guys came out here for November 5th? So it was November 4th. They had that protest, and then they all turned around. Yeah, well, before that one, there was another one on May Day, and they had like literal NSM Nazis out there. And these same cats, Mexican cats, black cats, Asian cats, Indian cats, standing right side by side with Nazis. And the Nazis are saying the worst thing about their races, but they're like, oh, we're not illegal, so they're not really talking about us.
What the fuck, dude?
That just blows my mind.
Yeah, I got called a fascist today. I told you, Gear.
Was like, what? I don't abide Nazis, and that's just the way it is. Like, dude,
Well,
no.
these are people on our side.
And you were like saying that these Nazis didn't have what? Tell us what happened.
No, I was just like, one of them I got into it about the police. I was like, why? Because they were thanking these militarized cops for their service. And I'm like, well, this is a joke. And this lady started arguing with me. And then she's like, those aren't Nazis. Those are just people who support Trump. I said, but they were standing, these same people, exact same people. I got them on video, standing with NSM. And actually a journalist, like from like a mainstream news, had a camera. And he turned around. I got it on video. I released it later. He turned around and was like, yeah, they really were. I was here too. And he goes, I remember you. You were yelling at them.
What the hell, man?
But that time, see, the cops figured this out now, because last time we were able to run them out, and the cops had the middle of the street blocked off. It was anti-fascists on one side and the Nazis on the other side, and they were cowering in fear. Their little base stick man was out there. He wouldn't come across nobody. That video's on our YouTube too. But it's like, and the cops let them park in their own parking garage. It was like in the police parking garage that the city pays for. That's where the Nazis were allowed to park.
Christ, what?
I had to go pay $7 at a damn lot down and walk a mile. They got to park right around the corner and be safe.
What the fuck?
Yeah. No one loves Nazis like cops. Come on now.
That's true.
That's a historical thing in this country. It's nothing new.
My God, man, this country is so insanely backwards when we have to have the kids tell us to stop with the guns, and a lot of people are misconstruing the message of these kids. These kids from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas in Parkland, they want background checks, they want assault weapon bans, and they want an age restriction on guns.
They're coming for our guns.
Yeah. That's it, right there. And I don't understand why this is so. I understand why it's so touchy, but what I'd like to remind people is in your Constitution, your First Amendment guarantees the right to life, first and foremost. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's before the Second Amendment. That one comes first. So you have to think about the priorities, right? But no, they're coming for your guns. And you've got Russians infiltrating the NRA. I'd like to know why Russians are allowed to be members of the National Rifle Association. Why are Russian nationals allowed to be members of the NRA? What the fuck?
And they're huge donors.
I know.
Money, yeah, money.
But I didn't know, Tim, that it was the International Rifle Association.
Right, it changed recently.
I thought it
didn't
was
know that.
national.
It's the IRA?
Irrational.
I heard of another group called the IRA. That's not even smart to do that. Why would they change their name to IRA? That's insanity. Like, do they know nothing of Ireland, or their history?
Oh, no, probably they don't, It's America we're talking about here. Come on. So, yeah, it's all very strange to me, and it's all very simply explained because Occam's razor, the simplest theory must be true, right? That's what I say. People give them money, they go out and they create propaganda just like any other corporation so that people will buy into their agenda or their actual products, which they have both. I don't understand why it's so unreasonable to expect or to not acquiesce to these kids, right? Saying, okay, this makes sense. By the way, Ronald Reagan put an assault weapons ban into effect. They're like Lord and Savior Reagan.
Do you know the story behind that?
What?
Do you know the full story behind that?
Why don't you enlighten us?
I think it was 1967. The Black Panthers went to the Capitol building in Sacramento, and they all had assault rifles with them. And I believe it was Huey Newton that said, "I'm a black man." He said, "Why do you have these guns?" Or whatever. And he said, "I'm a black man in America." He goes, "If no one wants to hear anything I have to say. I hold a rifle up. Everyone want to hear what the black dude with the rifle have to say." Some of them got into the Capitol. They didn't threaten anybody. They didn't do anything. They just sat there and wanted their voices heard. And Ronald Reagan and members of the NRA and other Congress said that they had guns aimed at them, and they lied and said all this stuff.
Jesus.
And then the NRA went on a vicious a propaganda thing. Within 6 weeks, they changed all open carry laws in California because God forbid some black people can carry guns in the state.
God.
Right.
So the NRA, the Black Panthers were fighting for your right to conceal carry. to open carry. The NRA and Ronald Reagan and all these people were going up against them because they're racist. I mean, Ronald Reagan, he started all this.
Yeah.
He catered to racists. The Klan only condoned 2 presidents in recent history, and it was Reagan was the first one, Trump's the second. Before that, presidents actually were Klan, some of them, but in my lifetime, I'm talking about Reagan and Trump, 2 presidents endorsed by the Klan. The only 2 in my lifetime.
And we didn't think that we would be here in 2018. Everyone is talking about how racism is over, and we live in a post-racial society. And if you are brown at all, that that's not true in any way, shape, or form. That's like the epitome of white privilege, in my opinion, to think that we live in a post-racial society. That's my 2 cents on that. I've said my piece and counted to 3.
Oh.
So, hey, Tib, how many people would you say were at the march?
I'd say at least 15,000.
Jesus, God, that's a lot of
1,000?
people.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was like I couldn't move. I couldn't even get across. All the streets were shut down. When I'm filming, you couldn't see the end of the people, even from the front or back.
It's amazing.
And then, like I said, there was 14 to 16 fascists and sitting on city property with their little American flags and Trump signs, talking crap with all the cops surrounding them, making sure nothing hurt them.
Oh, what when I'm going through all these live feeds today and watching the DC march, etc., etc. By the way, it was a really nice day in DC. Thank God.
How do we know they weren't off-duty cops that feel that way? And they just put on their Trump hats.
They probably were.
They're they just parked in the parking lot in their normal stall. Because I mean, most there's a huge amount of racist cops, so they probably were just cops in plain clothes and we'll just park in our usual stall and bring out our lawn chairs.
Yeah.
Lord.
God.
That's an interesting point. Hey.
No, these weren't all. I know a lot of these LA
these
cops
guys. That's right.
Yeah.
And these cats show up at all these different rallies, these Nazi cats.
So they're known instigators.
Well, here's the thing. It's they're black and Mexican Trump supporters, a lot of them. But they're standing next to the NSM. I can't get past that. You know what I mean? And there's white ones, too.
Yeah, it's like that guy that was wearing in the rallies that was wearing what was it, black people, African Americans for Trump or something. The one guy that's on the payroll that they gave $50 outside to come in and pretend
and they did too
that he knew anything about Trump.
Oh, the Blacks for Trump guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's some whack job. He's in some. He was in some murder cult. He's
Yeah,
like
he's
looking
crazy
up.
as fuck.
There's a lot of crazy shit about him. That dude's insane.
Well, only white people think that black people talk. All black people talk for each other. It's like everybody's an
Right.
individual. You have to be dumb to even think that. Everybody's got a different opinion, man. It goes every way.
Yeah, I don't think he talks for any other black people.
I know. I don't think he even. I don't think he knows any black people.
Well, there's always Ben Carson.
Well,
There was a guy sitting next to him in the crowd that looked as weird as he did with the big
Yeah.
glasses and all that.
I didn't know my furniture would, my wife
Oh,
bought it,
Ben.
and I just let my wife do it. Who throws their fucking wife under the bus, dude, like that? What a douchebag. He, like, totally threw his wife under the bus. What?
Your Ben Carson impression was spot on.
But it was
But-
too fast, I know.
It was a little too fast.
You guys don't
he
knock
has a
Ben
wife.
Carson, please.
What's up, Tim?
Don't knock Ben Carson, please. He's a person that taught me that if I don't have $30,000 worth of furniture in my office, I ain't shit.
Right? Hey, P. Diddy taught me that, man. P. Diddy said that first.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, he did. I guess he blamed his wife on that one.
Yeah, he
That's
really did.
crazy.
Rotten man.
That man
Lord.
does not care if he keeps his job or not.
No, I
He's like,
don't.
let me tell you something. My wife does not love Jesus as much as I do. We can't trust her.
Yeah.
Oh my
man.
god, it's just a shit show. It's so ridiculous.
It is,
Like,
it's-
it's getting stupider and stupider and stupider around here. And it was already stupid. I mean, you guys know
It's Betsy DeVos stupid.
it's even
But
stupider than
I
Betsy.
think
And here's the thing, and Tim knows
It's like
that
compounded
Bat and I
stupidity.
we're not huge Obama fans. We were not huge fans of the government before this shit show started at all, by any stretch of the imagination. And when all these assholes, these super right-wing conservative people like on Twitter try to attack me and they call me a libtard or, you know, whatever, I'm like, bro, I'm a lot more complex than that. I'm not just like, Hillary would have won, you know, like, I don't know. You're totally not understanding
Yeah,
like
like-
who I am.
They're coming at you with a little tiny box, thinking they're gonna put you in that box.
Yeah,
It's
no, that's
so far from the truth.
no.
Have you all seen my Twitter lately? I'm a dangerous individual, and the FBI needs to be coming to visit me.
No,
evidently,
no.
according to-
What?
No.
This one guy's obsessed with me. Like, he just anything about bashing Nazis, he's on it. FBI, this guy's dangerous. Stop him before something happens.
Oh
All
my
because
God.
I asked him to tell me. All because I asked him to tell me because he was like, Antifa kills everyone. They're such a terrorist organization. Antifa needs to go.
Jesus.
Okay, well, tell me how many people they killed. Well, they bomb people all the time. Well, name one time. Show me something.
Right.
I still haven't heard a result, and that's like 5 days ago.
Well, you know that. Right. The bomb. They haven't bombed anybody. But what's with them calling this new bomber in Sacramento, or not?
Austin.
Excuse me, Austin.
Austin.
Why are they calling him a troubled youth?
Because he's white?
If he
'Cause
was
he's white.
If he was even East Indian, if he was Sri
Native.
Lankan, if he knew a Mexican person, they would be calling him a terrorist, mad bomber. It would be all over the place, and all these they're just talking about him as he's troubled, or
You know what,
troubled.
we
It's like quit putting it through a color filter, man.
Yeah.
He's an asshole, and he's dead.
He's a...
Yeah, we talked about this yesterday on the other show that we do, and basically what I said, I'll say again. Think about it like this: they called him a troubled youth crying out for help, right?
Oh my God!
Now think about this: when they killed Philando Castile, who was a model citizen, helped all these kids, had a legal gun, and did everything he was supposed to do. They said, "Oh, he smoked weed. He probably smoked it around kids." They killed Tamir Rice. They said, "Oh, he looked like a man, a growing man." And you know, the victims of that they kill, they're always just dragged through the media like they're horrible people. But the guy that blows up a bunch of people is white. Oh, fine young man.
Yeah,
It's
right, yeah.
ridiculous. If only someone would have helped him, he wouldn't have had to do what he did. This is just so sick.
Right.
And I'm the terrorist trying to stop this.
Yeah, right?
Right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
black identity politics is what the Trump administration is following right now, instead of what really needs to be studied, which is what's killing people, which is white identity politics. White
Can I ask
racist terrorists. Look at
Can I ask your
Charlottesville.
listeners?
What? Sorry.
Can I ask your listeners a question? Which terrorist, I mean, quote unquote terrorist, would you rather have to deal with? A terrorist like me that goes around punching Nazis, or a terrorist like one of these white supremacists blowing people up and shooting up schools? Go ahead, answer. I know it's a hard question. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
It's ridiculous.
with the Nazi puncher every time.
Nazi puncher. Nazi puncher. Nazi puncher. Nazi puncher. Nazi
Do
puncher.
it. Hurts.
I mean, theoretically, someone getting punched could die, and it's happened. They hit their head
Right.
on concrete, something. But it's not the desired effect.
But was
Desired
there
effect is
but in American history and I could be totally wrong on this, so I'm asking, was there a certain day that we stopped the war on Nazis? I mean, so if they're showing up in public saying they're Nazis, that's like somebody pulling a gun on you.
Yeah.
You
That
should
day
be
was
able
November
to not. You
2016.
should be punching Nazis at a high rate. Because to me, it feels like if they step in front of you and say, "I'm a Nazi," what's happening? Then that's an attack, man. Punch,
Yeah.
punch away.
Face punch. Bye.
I mean, I don't understand that. We never officially took the war off of them, or did we? Did we say, "Hey, we're gonna launder these Nazi leaders and these Nazi scientists to America in different places, and we're gonna help them"? So the war against Nazis is officially over, and 40 years from now, they'll be walking around amongst you.
Well, I mean, technically, we kind of did that. If you look into the history of it, we gave a lot of them immunity to come over here and
Right.
work with us.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But I mean, everyone, the United States defeated the Nazis. No, the Russians, the communists defeated the Nazis. We kind of were there helping.
We disbanded them. We disbanded them and took them in.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And some of the camps were even still run via Russia under our control before they released everybody. So I mean, we don't have our hands clean in this either as United States, as far as United States goes.
It's very seldom we have our hands clean on anything.
Well, we started off
True.
by a major genocide of a peaceful people.
Right.
So there's that. That's how the United
Arguably
States
the
started.
biggest genocide in the world history.
Yeah. So there's that. I wanted to bring up something that one of our listeners did pop into the chat, which is half of the gun debate about getting guns out of people's hands should be about demilitarizing the police. I think that's absolutely correct. I don't think we need to have, army soldiers in the streets. It scares the shit out of me.
We need to regulate how they show up and protect and serve.
Like our fucking local sheriff doesn't need an MRAP.
Right.
There's-
And they have one, for
Well,
God's sake.
Or
How about starting with just actually protecting and serving? That
Yeah,
would be
right,
good.
right.
You mean going back to protecting and serving? I mean, when the fuck did that get lost?
In the 80s, I think.
Yeah.
I hope every one of these students that's marching today goes into politics, because then we can change this shit.
There's a lot of
That's really like
here.
the
At
only
At the very least, register to and vote.
Right, that's the optimism. The only optimism I can find in it is their voice is deep enough, and they're coming from their heart with it,
Listen
and they're
to
gonna
me.
mean it.
I heard an 11-year-old girl say there is a disproportionate amount of killing of African American women. That sentence came out of an 11-year-old child today. I am blown away.
Fact that politicians are too afraid to say. It's fact. We need to address all that.
This child is amazing.
Right.
She's 11. If she continues that trajectory, she's going to be president.
Right.
I hope.
Yeah, but
Well,
see,
if we're lucky, she'll be president.
y'all know I'm an anarchist, right?
We all are here. I am too.
Well, it could go that way too. That's that's not a deal
just saying-
breaker for us. That's not a deal breaker.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm thinking this is what Steve Shagwell.
Of course
He
I
told
do.
me something before,
Shout
and
out
it made a
Steve.
lot of sense to me. Like, I would say don't vote, revote, but for your show, I'm going to go ahead and let's go with you guys. Let's vote. So, there was two philosophies on this that I kind of agreed with. The first one was, if you're gonna vote, then you need to consciously think about voting. If you're voting for Democrats in one house, make sure the Republicans are in the White House. You know, so they're always fighting each other, and neither one can get any of their corrupt crap done.
Okay, I got one.
Because think about it. And, you know, if you have all Democrats, you got fascism, like they call it. And then you got Republicans, you got full-on fascism.
They're both
But, yeah,
completely corrupted to the core. Like, harkening back to my other earlier point saying, you know, we're not fans of the Obama administration either. I'm hoping that at some point we can branch out and become more of a multi-party system where we have independent voices.
Independents in California.
The independents in
25%.
California are 25%, and the Republicans in California are about 25.4%. Where the independents in California are about to overtake the Republican voices in California. So, if we continue on that path, that is pretty cool, I think, because, you know, things like the Pirate Party, or, you know, which is
The Pirate
awesome.
Party.
We are really behind the Pirate Party. I love the Pirate Party.
Revolt, don't vote. The joke is on us. There's no choice to campaigns and no names to trust. No,
There you
maybe
go.
not.
Boom.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Boom.
No, yeah.
Boom.
Boom.
Small mic drop. Mic yo-yo.
Mike,
The mic dropped, but then it immediately came right back up. That's called a mic yo-yo. No, but
Are
I
you
do-
just
I do-
making this shit up right now? What is this?
you guys inspire me because now I'm thinking I might be an anarchist, man. I might be.
I am an anarchist. I wish that people were smart enough
I
to
might-
be anarchists.
Right, I might have bigger
No
balls
gods,
than I
no
knew.
masters.
What?
So no gods, no masters.
Exactly.
Yep.
No flags.
Yeah, I just think, you know, it's just if people, a lot of people are just really uninformed voters. Like, yeah, people say, I didn't see Trump say anything racist. Why? Because I didn't even watch anything. I just went and voted
Yeah,
Republican.
yeah.
Right.
You know, and you got the same thing with the Democrats. Now we got a literal Nazi that just the Republican Party just put in Illinois is running unopposed for Congress. Literal ex-leader of the NSM Nazi Party.
Now, I thought I saw that there was a progressive, independent young woman running against him.
Well, yeah, that's fine, but 20,000 people still went out and voted for the Nazi who was running unopposed.
I know what you're saying. I'm
and didn't even need their votes.
Oh my God.
I'm hoping that there was somebody, you know, who filed, because I think I heard somebody filed to run against him, but I'm not 100%
Well, it's
sure.
like people don't understand what the word unopposed means. It means get the fuck out there and oppose this shit.
Yeah.
That means there's nobody else. Do it.
Well,
Stand
Well,
up.
the Republicans did denounce him, quote unquote, in their own defense, but they didn't do anything about it. And if he's in there, you damn right he's going to vote along with them, and they all have the same agenda. So it's just the word Nazi that they don't like. Because
Right.
I mean, what does Trump or Bannon or Miller, especially Miller, any of these cats do that isn't Nazi-like? You know?
They're just upset because he's saying it out loud. They're like, shh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I've had arguments online with people, and you call a white supremacist a Nazi. Like, I'm not a Nazi. Well, you're a white supremacist. Yeah, but I'm not a Nazi. They really distinguish between that. I don't.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
The only place they distinguish that for real is in prison. That's two different crews in prison.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah,
you,
but these are
me,
the people.
us,
These are just
us
regular.
on the street. We don't. There's no reason for us to differentiate that because it's all negative towards us. But yeah, that's the only real place, and that's fact. Is in prison where those are two different things. We can see those as the same thing because the hate smells the same. For real.
Punch a Nazi.
Punch a Nazi.
Yeah, I'm sure they got the logic from there, but these people don't know that. They really think I'm just a standard racist. I'm not a Nazi.
Right. Right.
It's
I don't think
offensive that you consider me a Nazi. What?
That's what blows my mind. I can't figure it out. Like you hate everybody, but y'all ever seen Rick and Morty when they had this one episode where it was like all these creatures could control their minds and they give them fake memories.
Oh my God.
And
No.
one
I
of the
don't see
fake
that.
memories, and then the creatures become real from the memories. They become the people in the memories, and they believe them to be their friends. But anyway, there's this one clip where they had a Nazi who was standing there, and they were all tied up, and it was like some Raiders of the Lost Ark kind of thing. and then the New Yorker guy is like, "Hey, there's a name for people like you where I come from," and the Nazi's like, I'm proud to be called a Nazi. You think anything you say could hurt my feelings?
I'm good with this word.
God.
Rick and Morty. I'm gonna have to check them out because I keep hearing good things about
I
them.
watched an episode. That's all I've got.
We should keep going.
We're there. We've watched an episode. I'm getting there. My
I heard
kids are really into it.
I heard a rumor. I don't know if it's true or not that the guy that created it, one of them found out he had a whole bunch of alt-right, quote-unquote, Nazi fans and decided he doesn't want to do it anymore because of that.
Oh, no.
I'm like, what a ridiculous thing to do. I don't know if that's a rumor or truth or what, so I'm just saying something I read online, which, if it's online, it must be true, right?
Right.
Damn.
But yeah, they're ruining everything. That's all I'm saying.
That would totally ruin it. That is the one thing you could walk away and people couldn't really question and say, man, a bunch of dicks like my stuff, so I gotta quit. Shit.
My God.
That sucks.
Well, and it's strange what the, closed-minded, weird racist people like.
Well, look at Charlottesville. Home Depot had to put signs like, we don't want to sell tiki torches to Nazis.
That's where we're at in America. Right? This is where we are at in America.
Look,
what?
Yeah, show us the flyer to your backyard party if you want to buy tiki torches, because we're generally not going to sell it to anybody in khakis.
Like, I'm going to need to see the words Hawaiian themed on.
Or you can bring the pig in. You could bring, the pig or,
Right.
a pineapple, but you have to be having a Hawaiian themed luau backyard.
Exactly.
With minimal white people. Or have white people, but no
we only
polo
sell to
shirts.
people with lace.
Yeah.
Here's something that, here's where we are in 2018. I was in Seattle. I went into the pot shop. They're all white, and they're wearing, white polo shirts and khakis, and I got legitimately frightened. I was
Because they're turning it into, Best Buy
oh, God.
of weed, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So they're all, they're dressed nice, and I'm like, ah! Are
Right.
you guys, in a crew, or is this just, uniform
Well,
that
did
you
you go
wear to
up?
work?
Did you just look in deep in their eyes? So you could
No, I was afraid of them.
Because if you look in their eye, then you'll know. Oh, it's just a pothead in a polo shirt.
Yeah, it's the polo shirt that does it.
Right.
It's just creepy. It's always been creepy.
Was it
Now
like
it's
a polo
creepy
shirt
times
and
X.
and man buns?
And man buns, dreads with man buns. Oh Lord.
Whoa, no,
Yeah, it
that's
was
not
like
a real dread.
Peak hipster. Yeah.
I don't know if
Do you
real
want
dread would.
to know how I tell which dispensaries I'm going to go in and are going to be expensive or not in LA?
Okay, first off, we need a drum roll for this, because of course we do. Who are you talking to? We need. Of course, we want to know this.
This is traditionally how it's always worked here.
Okay.
If you walk in a dispensary, some of them will be really nice and have a lot of stuff, but the prices will be high. And you start to notice they have big, giant tip jars. And the people working there, there's not one male. It's all women. Maybe one guy that's the manager.
Okay.
And they're all wearing Littleton. I've seen one where they wear lingerie. And I'm like, why am I paying more to come in here? Screw this. So here's the thing. It's like they're trying to get these dudes to come in that want to tip them big and buy the most and try to impress them. I go to the one with the little hippie guys over here or the black dudes over here that are just real cool, and they got better prices, and I'm supporting local people,
Oh, for real? Yeah.
It's just really weird. It's they have these things set up it's like a club when you go in with TVs all over the place. And it's come on, man. I just want to get my weed and leave. You can't even smoke in there.
Right. Well, I don't pay when I go in a strip club, so I'm not going to pay strip club overhead for a weed service. That's just because I'm pretty.
That's my thing. That's the thing. I mean, if you're going to go to a strip club, go to a strip club. If you're going to go get weed, let's just make it about the weed. It's all these gimmicks.
Right.
That's killing it. And you still got people in prison for selling weed, by the way.
Oh, I know. They're talking about in San Francisco is going to do it across the board.
Yeah.
Where they're going to clear the convictions. But that's the ones in the court system. They didn't talk about, they'll take it off your records. They didn't talk about, are we going to go free people that are actually incarcerated? They need to go every step of the way.
I thought they were going to do that.
Well, if they
I'm
are,
not
leave
sure.
it to San Francisco to lead the way, because
Yeah.
in Northern California, above San Francisco, nobody's committing to it. We have the laziest DAs, who still obviously think it should be criminalized. But I think it should be across the board everywhere. If it's legal in your state,
Yeah.
and we're not talking about a bunch of paperwork.
No, just go. Bye bye.
Click.
Yeah. And
Drag. Click and
sorry about
drag.
that.
Move
Yeah,
my name
and you
over
know what?
here.
Yeah.
And yeah, and if there was some gangster stuff involved, people shooting each other over their stuff, then whatever. That the weed's minor, they're still gone.
Right.
You're gonna just release people that got caught with more than an ounce, or people that got caught with a couple pounds because they're trying to make a little money here or there or something, or people that literally just had 4 or 5 ounces for their own personal or different flavors.
Right.
I mean, it's like, oh, these criminals will all get. I heard people say that if you do that. No.
Man, I know
You know,
a college professor that went down for 17 years with 11 starters back in 90 something,
Shit.
early 90s. I mean, yeah, okay. This guy's a college professor, and he went down for starters. And he's what, is he out yet?
Is he?
No.
No. Jesus fucking Christ! They need to release
Wow.
all these
And
people.
did his family fall apart? Yes, of course.
It's.
They need to legalize all these drugs, really. But
I believe
I'm
that-
on now.
I'm with you, Tim. 100%, man. I completely agree with that because
They're elitists. You think they would?
I just think, you know, like,
You
why are
okay.
we trying to control adult people? We're not children.
I mean, let's look at history. In the 1920s and 30s, there was a prohibition, a quote-unquote war on alcoholism. There was crime in the streets, bombings, shootings. Sawed-off shotguns and Thompson submachine guns became famous over that, by the way. And then now alcohol is legal. I don't see people die. I mean, people are dying from drinking and driving and liver, disease and stuff, but nobody's dying in the streets over moving alcohol.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with any substance. Let people do what they want. And yeah, you can say drunk driving is illegal, obviously. You can make things so it's safer to do for people, have needle exchanges for, stuff like that. But it's just stupid. It's just asking for crime because then they could have the militarized police and they could have the prison industrial complex and they could keep making tons of money. That's what it's all about in the end, I think.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it's all about.
I'm just like shaking my head over here. It's just, this society is wacky. And I just, honestly, it's because of the way that society is. Here's the thing. There was an experiment not too long ago with these mice. They put one set in a normal cage, right, with the little water dropper thing and their little food pellets and whatnot. And then they put the other set of mice in this very elaborate cage that had tons of fun shit to do for the mice. Wheels and runs and, fun things to do for the mice. And then they put alcohol and water into each cage, into their little, they had 2 dropper things. One was alcohol and one was water. The mice in the basic cage more often went to the alcohol, and it was basically because of their environment.
That's purely on a stimulus level.
Like, because they are just
Couldn't
surrounded by gray
no physical
bullshit.
stimulation.
Exactly.
So they had to stimulate them.
So
Yeah, okay, their chemistry.
the way that we are all oppressed by this society, by this crazy capitalist society, and we're kept down by low salary,
Oh, right.
by high healthcare costs, by high food costs, by all these things, that keeps us in that gray cage, and
Right.
we all want to self-medicate a lot, So I think that's the root of all evil here, is the way society is set up. Because I'm going to go back to the feudal city-states. This is not the best idea to, model your society on, is the king in the castle and the serfs around doing all the work. So I think that's why we have such a high rate of people wanting to self-medicate constantly. Because this society is not natural and it's really hard to deal with. That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah. It would compromise
Makes a
sense.
lot more sense than 2.
Beard says we want out of the cage. Yes. We do.
Yeah.
We want out of the cage. I would love nothing more than to just stay home and garden all day and grow food for my family, but I can't do that. I have to work because I have medical bills.
Right, because if you, God forbid, you wanted to barter your extra vegetables instead of take on a regular job,
Right.
yeah, you'd be in violation of several local laws.
Christ.
Excessive gardening will not be allowed.
This aggression cannot stand.
Right, you will not do that to this city-state.
I just sent y'all some pictures to show you how the crowd. It's hard to tell, but from those pictures, because I couldn't see them, they're too small. But I think if you blow them up, you can see the crowd just goes on and on in the back or so. And I sent you some of those militarized sheriffs too.
I don't got the best internet, so we'll download them later and check them out. But yeah,
okay.
it's just like,
They're in the middle of nowhere.
The ones I can see look fucking awesome. There's fucking people everywhere. Cops, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I was watching some of the. I think I was watching some live feed from LA earlier. I don't think it was yours.
But these people come and say, I couldn't get live feeds up after the first little while, but these people are like, thank you for your service, shaking the cops' hands, hugging them. I'm like, oh my God. And you see what they're dressed like. I don't know if you can see the pictures.
Yeah,
they're dressed like we're in Iraq.
Military garb, yeah.
Thank you for your
They're
service.
soldiers.
Yeah.
Yeah, hugging them, shaking their hands, getting mad at me for saying these are killers right here. I was a fascist. How dare you? These are our protectors.
Really?
Hey, they also had some volunteers from local organizations that stood protecting the cops and the Nazis. I interviewed a lot of them, and they all just look stupid. Like, I'm protecting you. Your back's to the people that have the guns. How are you What are you going to do? I'm going to stand in front of the bullets for you. I so wonder, you just really don't know how it works, do you? You're going to stand in front of the bullets getting shot out of a gun and protect all these people behind you? It doesn't work like that. It just move.
Right?
After you're shot once, you're not chasing, yeah. It was all a sham, I don't know. And we had enough people where we could have spread out and shut down all of LA, all the freeways, nothing would have moved, and we could have stayed out there, and there was nothing they would have been able to do. They had the people so controlled, so happy to stand by a stage and listen to the music and the singers. No one's mindset is on shutting stuff down. It's like, we have a permit. They already shut that down. That's what they're ready for that. Surprise them sometimes.
Yeah, no shit.
There's no reason in this country we have freedom of speech, First Amendment, freedom of assembly. Why do we have to go and get a permit from them? We should just show up.
Yeah,
no shit.
I don't get
That's
it.
the stupidest thing.
You mess around and inspiring us now. I'm feeling that.
Yeah, I'm real militant.
No,
Kira
but
knows
I don't know.
she
Everybody
knew what she was
says.
asking.
Everybody says in every single thing is better to,
ask for forgiveness later.
Why are you going to read my mind like that?
Because I do that.
Ask for forgiveness after, do
not
that.
Not permission. Ask for forgiveness, not permission,
Yeah, I screwed up the whole saying. But you feel me.
I
Just,
got
what
it.
I mean? Do it. Express yourself. Stand up. And let them try to hold you back.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, Alex Salazar says something, and I agree. They can't kill us all. There's enough of us out there. We win.
Right.
That's him.
It's what I keep yelling at, historical dramas that I watch. There's more of you than there are of them! Kill those motherfuckers!
Are we going to go live at 6? Oh, wait. Oh, my God. I have a Babylonian dinner at 6.
Yeah.
We gotta revolt at 6.
Oh, I know. Everybody's going to be doing speeches and whatnot.
Right.
I'm going to try to... I don't know what I'm going to do.
We ought to rebuild the revolution, man.
I know.
Rebuild the rebellion.
The rebellion is weak, y'all, right now. But the kids are revolting, and I like that.
Well, everyone is, in my opinion, controlled and scared and confused. And really, the organizers are all with their little groups. They're not organizing. They're not training people like, we're going to take this shit over. They're like, we're going to go and make our point heard and get the Democrats elected, and everything will be great again. We had fascism since Reagan, moving slowly toward us. After 2011, September 11th attacks, fascism started moving quicker. That was under Republican. And then what happened? A Democrat came and kept moving it forward.
He actually expanded it. Oh my God.
Yeah,
he was like, I'm going to, this is going to go away and blah, 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 blah. And then he goes and expands it 10, 20 million fold so that it's more robust. And the state, the NSA can do all kinds of fun shit now without you knowing.
We all thought Obama was the medicine man, and he was the frickin' placebo.
Bitters.
He was the.
I never thought that.
Oh.
I never thought that because the bastard came in and bailed out the banks because they were too big to fail. After that, I wasn't with them. I was like, I love having a half black president and all, but not this guy. I want to pay. I want
bailout.
It only took
I want
a little while.
Assata Shakur to come back and be our president. I'd vote.
Right. It only took a little while for me too, Tim.
Yeah.
You know, we were really pleased when he got elected. But
I did. I got so excited for it was
about-
like a weekend. It was
yeah.
only a
It was
weekend.
a little while.
And then I was jaded.
But then, you know, it was really evident that
Yeah.
he was a corporatist and he was not going to be any sort of real
Oh,
hope
yeah.
or change.
Yeah, it was just the swing of the pendulum.
More of the same, dude.
They swing it there, and then they swing it back, and put some smiles on some faces, and get ready for what's coming.
You know, a lot of the stuff that he did was truly, truly atrocious. Bombing, droning the wedding parties in Yemen, you know, and all kinds of people. Like, Stanley Cohen calls him I have a drone, and that's absolutely perfect.
Ouch.
You got that from Key and Peele. I love that. I have a dream. I have a drone.
Keegan Peele.
People making their name off Key and Peele. That is this. I find so much wrong with that. Key and Peele are legends.
Also Stanley Cohen, so he just
Yeah,
took
Stanley
the thing,
Cohen.
I'm sure.
Stanley is amazing. He's amazing. We should have him on sometime.
Yeah, we should.
But yeah, I mean, wow. Like, really, so many really wacky things are happening. And I don't know, dude. Tim, I'm kind of like loving it. Really, it's really funny.
I'm loving it.
Like, watching this shit fall apart. But at the same time, I'm like, shit's gonna be really expensive really soon, and I'm not down with that. you
Well,
know?
Trump just started a war on 3 fronts. Trade war. I mean, everything. He got the trifecta. Everything's gonna be expensive.
Yeah.
But it's not falling apart. It's just putting us in our place here, I think.
Oh, right.
Falling apart is what we want. I think we want the system to crumble, but they're gaining and we're losing. That's the problem.
That is the problem. But it is
we
still...
have to flip the script somehow, and until these people wake up and stop saying, "Oh, I'm gonna go with the catchphrase and this," we're gonna go shut stuff down under whatever banner, under whatever name. We're all here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're LA, just because I'm here, but the whole, any city, state you're in, we're gonna shut this whole place down. Commerce, nobody's gonna be able to make any money. Nobody's gonna be able to get to work. Nobody's gonna be able to travel. Nobody's gonna do anything except maybe emergency vehicles like ambulances, fire trucks, not even police, until we get our demands met for the people. And until that happens, nothing's going to really change. And to make that happen, people have to be more disenfranchised. More white people, unfortunately, have to get gunned down by the police than black and Mexican people. More people have to be homeless. More people have to be poor. More people have to be living check to check to check. And it's coming, but they don't want to fight now. They want to wait till it hits them and then fight after the fact.
I would like to congratulate Sacramento for shutting shit down a couple days ago.
Yeah.
That was brilliant. It was beautiful.
I-5 looked like...
I-5 was a fucking parking lot.
It was a parking lot. Nice. You know what I mean? But it was like a parking lot on Black Friday, which I don't even like the name Black Friday. But we won't go there. But yeah, parking lot. They parking lot at I-5 real quick.
But see, I mean, here's the thing. But then that's over now. And Stefan, I can't think of his last name, he's still dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Because he looks an awful lot like my son-in-law. Like, an awful lot. He's the same age. You know?
Right.
People need to think like this. If I got gunned down, wrongfully, I wasn't doing anything.
In your grandma's backyard.
Yeah, well, I'm saying in any of these cases, what would I want other people to do for me?
Right.
I'd want them to go ape shit in the streets and burn the motherfucker down.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So why won't you do the same for others if that's what you want for yourself?
Right.
Nobody gets shot by these police and says, "No, let's all keep the peace and let the police force keep militarizing," and dies. Nobody does that.
Right.
There's no more empathy anymore in this fucking world.
Yeah, I don't know how people don't relate to other people, man. But what the hell is this perfection they see in themselves, man? Please. This dude was... You ain't never been at your grandma's house? You ain't never been outside taking a phone call at night? Come on. This dude... What? This dude was killed for nothing.
I just...
Oh, he was killed because he was black holding something in his hand.
Yes.
That wouldn't have happened with a white kid. So he was killed for something. He was killed for racist reasons.
So over it. I'm so fucking over it.
They got to test these cops for fear, man. I don't know how they're so afraid of people. Because they're so afraid that they don't treat people like equals, man.
Well, how about they start hiring? How about they stop having a limit on how smart cops to be and hire some actual smart people?
shit.
Oh my God. You speaking the
there's
truth.
something.
I heard that back in the 80s, and from back then I was shocked when I was younger, and I was like, how can you be too smart? What? And then, the whole thing opened up for me, and I realized they don't want you to be too smart. They want you to believe in the blue line. They want you to be able to lie for, they want you to be able to make up stories. I get it. They want you to be a certain kind of dumb. It's amazing how you could be too smart to be a cop, man. And what a thing of embarrassment.
It's really funny because I saw a cop run the wrong way yesterday, and a bunch of people were like, "Wrong way!"
What?
He Keystone copped it?
He was Keystone copping it, yeah. The guy he was looking for was running the other way.
Benny Hill music
And I
playing
was
in the background.
pissed at the people who said wrong way. I was like, you assholes.
That guy just...
Yeah, you just gotta... What, are you getting a check? You getting a paycheck from the cop station?
Who does that shit? Don't say wrong way. Just laugh at it.
I mean, these are the people that like, I don't know. I just did a show last week with the woman whose husband was screaming in the back of the car, "I can't breathe. Something's wrong. Help me, help me."
Oh, God.
And then mocking him like, "You shouldn't have ran for us," and everything. And he dies. And the cops are leading around doing nothing. It's hard to get through something like that. And this happens every day,
Yes,
2 times a day, most of the time, all across the United States.
Yeah.
People getting slaughtered, and it's always justified because they ran or they did this or they did. Who cares? If you didn't rape or kill somebody, and I mean, not even that. If you did, then they should arrest you still and get you to the justice system. But I mean, if you're not an imminent threat,
Right.
you know what I mean? People, you don't have guns drawn and people could die, then why kill somebody? Why torture people? Why tase someone?
Oh, what? Right. Why are they always escalating everything? Why would they escalate everything they come in contact with?
Yeah.
A lady in Sacramento I've been talking to lately, she can't do a show because she has a court case going on, but she's been getting death threat calls at work. She's been getting her tires slashed. She's been getting followed around and harassed. And you know why? Because her husband got in a car accident, was wandering through traffic, and probably hit his head or something. The cops found him, tackled him to the ground, and tased him and tased him and tased him and tased him until he was dead, holding the tasers to him. And I believe he was white. So these people need to wake up.
It's
And
so
she's being
disgusting what they
tortured
do.
and threatened. Yeah.
Excuse me. It's disgusting what they do. And it's at what point do we go to the UN and say, these are war crimes?
Oh,
Like,
damn.
for fucking
nation
real.
under siege.
This is a nation under siege. You're right. And this is a racist country that has a terrible history of violence against black people, native people, people of color. It is disgusting. It's despicable. And it is emboldened under this president. And it's just getting worse.
Don't we yell at
but when
other countries for doing the same fucking thing? I mean...
I'm just
Because it doesn't
kidding about the
benefit us.
UN. They're not going to do anything. But
Land if it talks.
I was gonna say, look who's members of the UN. You have Turkey was led into the UN. Here's Israel.
Yeah, they're brilliant,
Israel.
aren't they?
You have the United States. You have all these terrible countries that are evil. Yeah, they're not gonna do anything. And even if they did, what are they gonna do? Don't do that. Let me say, don't shake our fingers at you.
exactly.
They're using UN World Food Organization trucks to transport ISIS militants across the Turkish border into Syria. If you remember the Serena Shim story,
Yeah.
the UN is crooked as hell.
I'm looking at a sign on my door that says, "Who murdered Serena Shim? Op Serena Shim." Follow that at Op Serena Shim. And speaking of that, I wanted to give you some time to talk about your show and what you do and where people can find you on the web and when your shows are and stuff.
We just have we got a lot of new stuff coming. We're gonna have a lot of new shows. We have the Friday show. It moved to 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern, and it's at peoplesradiounited.com. peoplesradiounited.com. Just or search it on Google. We have a YouTube and all that. That's all. People can find it. People cannot find it. It's all cool.
Nice.
I'm terrible with promotions because whatever.
just
Listen
wanted
if
to
you
give
want.
you
Yeah.
Some time, or
Well, I mean, yeah, I appreciate it, but we're militant, and a lot of people don't like that. Like,
whatever.
well, yeah, it's an acquired taste. People's Radio United. So, listen at your own risk, I guess.
Yeah, well,
Always with us, though,
we're-
dude.
we're like pretty out there too, and we're not. I wouldn't say we're like far left. We're just radical. It's not really left or right. It's just different. Yeah, we're different.
I like the Fred Hampton. I am a revolutionary. Say it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have a lot of also different. I have a lot of different ideology myself because I come from a different world and a different background. So I just I'm always like out on the sidelines looking at things going, well, that's very interesting. You people are weird. Not you, but them. The they.
The collective they.
The giant they.
The great unwashed.
Yeah.
The peanut gallery.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, we aren't going to the march until later. Ours isn't until 6, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I don't like these early morning protests.
No shit. Why do people want to get up early? Fuck me running.
I mean, it's like after I work weird hours, so I have to work at like 4 a.m. some days. So on a day where I don't have to go to work that early, I don't want to have to be somewhere at 9 a.m.
Right?
with a bunch of people. I mean, I don't want to ever have to protest anyway. It's just stupid to me. It's like, why do we have to be out here? Why can't they just fix the problems and we can just stay at home and play PlayStation 4 and be happy?
Right?
Yeah. I really don't want to be here. It's not like, I don't want to do people's radio. Let's be honest. I don't want to have to talk about any of this crap. I just want to live my life and be happy. But these cats won't just change the laws and make things better. It's their fault.
It is, it really is. And I'm tired of it too, because I've been doing this my entire fucking life, and I'm getting too old for this shit, frankly. That's where I'm going with it. I'm too old. I have to go march now. I have to walk a whole freaking bunch of miles, and I just fell yesterday. Gave myself a damn concussion, so yay!
Oh, dang.
Yeah, I'm brilliant. It's fine. I fall all the time.
Are you okay though?
No, not really. I will be. I need to rest.
It's like I'm not okay.
Let's do this, yeah! Come on!
Gotta protest though, because god damn it.
Well, take it easy. Did you get looked at least? Like
Fuck
you're
no.
not gonna.
Of course not.
Oh my
I
God.
looked at her.
Dr. Bad.
Dr. Bad
It's
looked
okay.
at me.
She looks fine from here.
Yeah. I didn't
She's
throw
not,
up
she's
or
not
anything.
stumbling any more than normal. I
Right.
mean,
I'm fine. I'm just hurt,
yeah.
pissed.
Hurt and pissed,
Hurt and
yep.
pissed.
Wow.
Oh god. Leave it to me to trip over my own damn feet. That's pretty much what happened. Yeah. But hey,
I do that sometimes.
I do it all the time, and I need to stop it.
I got no nerves in one foot, so I do that. I do weird things with it sometimes. 'Cause I don't know if I'm on the ground or not at certain times.
Yeah. I feel you on that one, my friend. I also have nerve problems, so, and that is something that is common in our world, and it just doesn't have enough research into it. Nerve problems.
Oh, and mine is due to gun violence and a mass shooting.
Jesus.
It wasn't a mass shooting. It was more than 4 people got shot, though, so I guess they consider it a mass shooting. So, yeah.
That's a
That
mass
just-
shooting. It is.
Fuck my nerves up.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Christ. Well, we don't.
So it all comes full circle. See.
we also have to go protest this shit because, gun violence. It's affected most Americans, which is bullshit, but it's true. Like, that's a huge statistic.
My son walked out of his school on that day the other day.
Good for
With
him.
all of his classmates.
Was the school okay? They didn't try to punish the kids. I know some schools were doing that.
Nope.
Oh, good.
It's in a pretty liberal town thing, so it was all good. I'm pretty sure the teachers were involved with it somehow. Just the kind of place it is.
Yeah, I love Northern California. Especially like Oakland, San Francisco. It's like a whole nother vibe from LA. It's just 6 hours going north, and it's like a whole nother. The way people think, especially in Oakland, is so nice and refreshing. I wish people here thought more like that. We would be out here blocking off the streets.
Yeah.
Right.
Oakland's interesting. It's pretty far from us. I wish it was closer. We're up in the back of God's head, We're basically Oregon.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's this other part of California that no one even knows about. It's way, way up here past Sacramento. Woo! What?
There's
Can't
stuff
see it
past
past the
Sacramento.
trees.
Yeah, what? All right.
In the forest.
Wait. The Earth doesn't end at Sacramento?
No,
Right.
it doesn't. And it doesn't end in
Oh,
LA.
okay.
I've never been past LA, so I
No,
don't.
it's just Canada north
Oh,
of Sacramento.
I've been to Mexico, so yeah, it goes further.
Well, I've been to Mexico. I just haven't driven past LA. I've never been in between LA and Mexico City. I've been to Mexico City,
Oh yeah,
but not.
I've driven.
That place is amazing. Go there, Mexico City. Hell yes.
What are you talking about? If you leave the United States, the whole world's in shambles. Third world everything. What are you
Yeah,
talking
right.
about?
It's awful. Most Americans should probably just stay in America. Hint, hint.
I would say the opposite. Most Americans should go travel all over, meet other people, and see what it's really like. And,
There you go.
Dude, you guys
see other
missed all the
cultures.
dripping sarcasm coming out of my mouth.
Nah.
Oh, I know.
But you're
But I'm
right,
just-
because if you haven't been to another country, you really don't know what life is like comparatively. For real. You don't know how any other peoples live. And that's no way to go through life, son. I love
Did y'all hear
traveling.
Tucker Carlson?
That white racist dude on Fox, what happened with
Well,
him?
He did something like 2 days ago. Where he's talking about how it's actually harmful and damaging psychologically for one race of people to have another race move into their community over 16 years and have a bigger population than them. He said it's just not healthy. He goes, I'm sure your Mexican neighbors might be nice and friendly, but it's not healthy. You can't even understand what the people are saying. And then he's like,
Wow.
before you call me a bigot and start dropping those things, let me explain. Then he just said a whole spew of more racist stuff that backed up the first stuff he
Oh
said.
my god.
Wow,
I was like,
I
What
don't
the
know
hell?
what that could possibly be like. A whole nother race of people invading your
Oh my
continent,
god.
perhaps?
No. Yeah, right?
that's what I thought.
Fuck you,
He actually was
asshole.
saying this on Fox News plays this crap, and this is the same. He should be fired because
Yeah.
he runs the Daily Caller, and they were calling for terrorist acts before Charlottesville, saying run your car through protesters,
Fuck.
and it's just a racist little online
It is.
crappy thing, and Tucker Carlson's attached to that, and they don't denounce it. All they do is take down the video. Oh, we didn't, the video's still out. Everyone's seen it. Yeah, run these people down. Let's play funny music while protesters are getting charged with cars. And then the next day, 2 weeks later, someone actually does it, and they're going to take the video down. Like, oops, come on now. Y'all was calling for ISIS-style terrorist attacks and Tucker Carlson's media outlet. So, whatever.
Jesus Christ. But, they can't be terrorists because they're not of color. They're too pale to be terrorists. And
White
here we
people,
are.
please help us.
Here we
Before
are.
you commit acts of terror, get a tan.
All these guys shooting up places, all these guys with bombs, with cars. But no, let's focus on, Muslim extremist whatever garbage that they label this,
Nothing has happened like that.
Let's not look at facts.
I mean,
facts are stupid. Don't look at facts.
Yeah, we can't be logical.
Stop that. Stop that logic.
Sorry.
Alternative facts. That's
Yeah,
what we want.
I can't even with that. I just can't. I'm like, Lord. By the way, my wall has grown considerably in 2018. I write on my wall, I write notes.
We've moved to the other
We've
side.
moved to the other side. The doors filled. Everything is just covered because this is ridiculousness. And on that note,
That's awesome. We used to have when I had a studio, on the doors of the studio, everyone who ever recorded there or did anything would sign it.
Nice.
All kinds of people, some famous people, some mostly most people nobody's ever heard of. They were just awesome. I love that. Writing all over the walls and the doors. It was cool.
it is fun. We have some signatures. Yeah. Someone who finally made it to my house, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know why it says end of the world right there, but it does. I like Flaming Beast of Justice. That says it over here, and I don't know what that's referring to, but that's fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of random shit on here, but
yeah, there is.
It's all relevant somehow.
Yeah, one group did like a little mini 2x2 foot mural on one of the walls, just drawing with Sharpies. It was pretty awesome.
That's fun. I love drawing with Sharpies. It's my favorite. Well, we are going to wrap up, my friend, because we have got to go make signs for this protest in a few hours.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on. It's been a minute.
Thank you guys for having me on.
Hell yeah, dude.
Anytime. We're here every Saturday. Yeah. I never know what day.
Oh yeah, I just my work schedule was crazy, so I know you asked me before and I couldn't do it and I had to push it off, but I'm glad I finally got around to being able to do it. This is awesome. Thank you guys, all of you.
We'll fucking come back often,
Yeah,
Let us know what's going on down there.
Yeah.
Cool, for sure.
All right, man. Take care of yourself.
Thanks again. All right.
All right, we'll talk to you later. Thanks everybody for listening. Ugh.
Later.
Bye.
The kitchen sink. With gear.
There was just kittens and fucking puppies and rainbows and bunnies. Bad.
How can you edit out a Pegasus?
Red.
I like unicorns.
And Doc.
Loose cannon!
What have you got yourself into, man?
Everything.
And the kitchen sink.
Just sitting around freaking hanging out.
It's kind of like the Newsweek.
There's not much going on in the news.
It was just the news was just kind of hanging out.
I've thought that the president being investigated by the FBI was kind of normal. That's happened before, hasn't it?
Has.
That's happened before,
that makes
right?
It normal. Yeah, that happened before.
The kitchen sink.
Thursdays at 8 p.m.